When the economy breaks, everyone feels the pain.
But here's the thing, that's not the whole story. Not everyone actually loses.
Some people, yeah, they manage to survive.
And then there are others who, well, they just never recover.
So what's the difference between these groups? You might think it's income, right? But it's not.
It all comes down to one thing, positioning.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Finance Deep Dive. So we've talked before about what breaks when life just gets too expensive. But today, we're shifting our focus. We're going to talk about who. So who actually loses when the economy takes a nosedive? And who manages to make it through? Look, history shows us that this isn't just random luck. It's actually a pretty predictable pattern. And it all boils down to how you were positioned before things started to fall apart.
All right, let's dive into part one and start with the people who get hit the hardest. We can call this first group the financially brittle. These are the folks with absolutely zero margin for error.
We're talking high debt, really low savings, and expenses that are totally inflexible. Think rent, car payments, the works. They have no room to move, no wiggle room at all. So when that economic wave hits, they don't have days or weeks to adapt. They're pulled under almost immediately.
Okay, now the second group is a little more subtle, and honestly, in some ways, it's even more tragic. These are the people who make a critical mistake. They confuse stability with safety.
They just kind of assume that tomorrow is going to look exactly like today. So what do? They put off preparing. They might even see the warning signs flashing, but they think, nah, that won't affect me. And here's the crucial part. By the time the crisis is so obvious that everyone sees it, all of their best options are already gone. They're stuck reacting when they should have been preparing.
So if the brittle and the complacent are the ones who get wiped out, who actually makes it through? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's not always the people with the biggest paychecks. Nope, it's the ones who are the most flexible.
And what do we mean by flexibility? It's pretty simple. It's your ability to adapt when economic conditions change. It has almost nothing to do with your income level. Think about it. Someone earning 200 grand a year, but they're loaded with huge fixed expenses. They can actually be way more fragile than someone earning, say, $60,000 who has total control over their financial life.
So how do they get that flexibility? Well, it's not an accident. It's a very deliberate process. First, they control their expenses like a hawk. Second, they actively try to reduce their dependency on any one thing, one job, one client, one industry. Third, they protect their cash flow like it's their lifeblood. And maybe most importantly, they make these small, quiet adjustments long before anyone else even senses trouble.
And what does all of that buy them? One thing. The most valuable thing, really, time. When a crisis finally hits, they have the breathing room to think, the ability to pivot, and the patience to wait for the right move. Remember that brittle group? Their time runs out instantly. But for the survivor, time is the real asset they've been quietly stacking up all along.
But wait, there's actually a third group. A group that doesn't just survive the storm, they actually emerge from it even stronger. They don't just endure the crisis, they actually benefit from it.
So how do they do it? They are positioned for the aftermath. They have liquidity, cash or things they can turn into cash quickly at the exact moment when everyone else is desperate for it. And that liquidity gives them options while everyone else is trapped. It means they can acquire high-quality assets, stocks, real estate, you name it, when confidence is completely in the gutter and prices are cheap. And listen, this isn't about being reckless. It's the payoff for all that deliberate preparation.
And this really brings us to the core idea of this whole video. Every single economic cycle, and I mean every single one, without fail, acts like a giant transfer of opportunity. It moves from the unprepared to the positioned. It's like a fundamental law of financial gravity.
So you see, when the economy breaks, most people don't lose because of bad luck. They lose because their positioning was wrong from the start. The final outcome isn't left to chance. It's a direct result of the financial structure you build for yourself, long before you can even see the storm clouds on the horizon. So if this breakdown gave you a new way to think about things, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps more people find this video. And now I've got a question for you. Looking around right now, which group do you think most people fall into? The brittle, the complacent, or the flexible? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you think. And hey, if you want to understand these cycles before they become front-page news, make sure you subscribe to Finance Deep Dive. This channel is all about helping you stay ahead of the curve, not playing catch-up when it's already too late.
And stick around, because in our next video, we're going to get really practical. I'll break down the actual steps people take to quietly reposition their finances before things break. Thanks so much for watching.